Good morning, dear students. Today we discuss on thermodynamics, basic concepts of thermodynamics. So the name thermodynamics comes from the two words. These are the Greek words, therme and dynamics. So the Greek meaning of therme is the heat and dynamics means the power. So it's a science related to the study of heat and power. So whole thermodynamics will related to the heat, power, how they are transferring, how they are generating, and what are the uh, transfer mechanism and how they transfer. It will relates all these topics related to the heat and power. So the basic concepts, in basic concepts we have to firstly discuss the law of energy conservation, in which it is a very fundamental law, and it says that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to another. So this is the very fundamental law on which the whole thermodynamics relies, that the energy is energy is a transferring mechanism. Energy moves in a transferring fashion. It it transfers from one form to another, but never be created nor be destroyed. So energy will remain same. It may be goes to surrounding, or it may comes from the surrounding, whatsoever the case, but energy remains the same. So it means that the energy of the whole universe remains the same. What you are consuming, it comes from, suppose comes from the universe, then what you are releasing, it goes to surrounding or universe. Suppose we take example of any case in which heat is produced. Suppose we take example of a car running on a road, and from the thermodynamic point of view, it will generate energy from the fuel, but some energy is lost to the surrounding. When we see the engine is heat up, it means that that energy is not fully converted to the power or work by the engine, but it lost to the surrounding. So that part is lost to surrounding, that not account for its efficiency, and the engine efficiency will be lesser as compared to the calorific value of the fuel. So it means that the energy is lost, but the but it, but in another term, it cannot be said that the energy is destroyed. That energy goes to surrounding, and it will increase the surrounding temperature, local surrounding temperature to 1 or 2 degree, but the energy can not be destroyed. We have to consider the example of a rock falling from a cliff. Suppose it is having some height. Because of height, it contains some potential energy due to virtue of its height, and the potential energy is, suppose we assume that it's a 10 units, so it will contain the whole 10 units of energy, potential energy. But the kinetic energy is zero, because kinetic energy is a component which is due to the velocity. Here the stone is at rest, so the potential energy, because of height, it has potential energy, but kinetic energy is zero, because the rock is at stationary position. The rock velocity is zero. So according to the formula of kinetic energy, half mv square, it is having a zero velocity, so its kinetic energy zero. But due to the virtue of its height, it has some potential energy. Now we consider another situation in which rock starts falling from the cliff. When it falls, it picks up some speed, and due to which it gains some kinetic energy because of speed, by the virtue of speed, but it loses its potential energy. So the potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. When it comes to the rest, that means it comes to the ground, then its whole potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. and after it comes to the ground and the rock becomes stationary, the whole kinetic energy is transferred to the ground that which it hits. So basically there is, you can see that when a rock starts falling from a cliff, there is a conversion of whole potential energy into kinetic energy, and then when the rock hits the ground, there is a transfer of energy from that rock to the ground, and now the rock contains no energy because it loses its potential energy, its kinetic energy, and the rock on the ground level having zero energy. So the whole energy is transferred to the ground. So this is the a very good example that you can understand that the how the energy is created and transferred, and you can see that there is a series of conversion from potential energy to kinetic energy and kinetic energy to again kinetic energy to the ground. So the transfer mechanism works like that. So we discuss again some basic concept of system. What is system, what is surrounding, and what is boundary. So at first we have to learn what is system. So system is a defined system, can be defined as a quantity of matter or region in a space chosen for study. So the part or a reason which we have chosen to study, or we have to concern about that part, then that is known as system. Suppose if we are considering or we are talking about a class, then class is a system. Suppose we are talking about a say engine cylinder of a motorcycle, then the whole engine cylinder is a system. And what is surrounding, the mass or region outside the system is called the surrounding. Whatsoever outside, that is called surrounding. So the in fact ourselves, we are studying the system, we are also surrounding because we are not the part of the system. So surroundings other than whatever else other than the system is known as surrounding. Suppose if we consider a class as a system, then the students are a part of system. Teacher if is there, then it's a part of a system. So uh, if there is chalk, duster, these are all the part of a system. But outside that class, nobody is in system. If a student is standing outside the class, he is not a part of the system. So he is a part of a surrounding. So this is the uh, basic concept of system. What is system? We have chosen a class, so the class is a system, and whatever else other than the surrounding, other than the system, is known as surrounding. So whatsoever it is, and the what is the boundary again? Then boundary is that boundary is imaginary line or it may be real that differentiate between system and surrounding. It is a line that differentiate between system. So if you cross that line, you comes into the system, and if you go outside that line, you reaches into the surrounding. This is the it's a line. Suppose in a classroom, the four walls are the boundary of a system because it confined a class. Okay, but suppose if the class is taking place in a ground, then there is no walls. Then you say there is no boundary, but you can draw a imaginary line in which all constituents of the system can be enclosed. Then it is known as the system. Then it is closes the system. Then that imaginary line can be treated as a boundary. So the boundary may be imaginary or it may be real, like a walls in a classroom, or when we use a coffee in a mug, then the mug is known as mug is boundary. When water in a glass is a system, suppose, then the glass walls are the boundary. So there is another explanation is that boundary of system can be fixed or movable. When suppose we consider a piston and a cylinder as a system, then the piston moves continuously. So its boundary changes at every instant. So in that case, boundary is a movable. And again, further system can be classified into open system, closed system, and isolated system. So, when we consider a hot cup of coffee that then it's known as the system, and it's this cup is a boundary, and outside that it is the surroundings. This is the example of open system, closed system, and isolated system. In open system, mass and energy transfer can take place. Suppose if you consider this flask, in this flask, energy and heat can be easily transferred. In the suppose if we put some water in it or some other fluid and we heat it up, so what will happen if the water vapor leaves the system and there is a mass transfer, and we keep it for some time, it will cools down. It means that it is transferring energy or heat. So both heat and energy and mass can be transferred in a open system. But whereas in closed system, only heat transfer can take place across this flask walls, but no mass transfer can be uh, happened or taken place, because there is a pot fitted on the top of flask. And in isolated system, there is no energy transfer take place and no mass transfer take place. So in isolated system, no energy, no mass. Here, energy can be transferred but no mass. Here, both energy and mass can be transferred. So this is the basic idea of a basic concept of system and energy conservation. Thank you.